We're going to be debunking this misconception like we've done in other chapters and uncovering the fascinating and often overlooked history of early Christianity in Africa. So get ready, because this journey is going to take us back centuries before European colonialism. You see, this notion that Christianity was forced upon Africans just doesn't hold up, not when you look at the historical evidence. The truth is, vibrant Christian communities were flourishing in Africa centuries before European colonialism even began. And to understand this, let's think about the fact that there were already prominent Christian centers thriving in North Africa long before European colonists ever arrived. We're not talking about small isolated communities here. These were major hubs of Christian thought and practice, and two cities in particular stand out: Alexandria in Egypt and Carthage in modern-day Tunisia. Now, here's a fact that might surprise you. Carthage was actually where the Bible was first translated into Latin. So this happened way back in 190 AD. That's almost 200 years before Jerome's Vulgate translation. So yeah, a Latin Bible existed in Africa almost 2 centuries before, and the version most commonly used in Europe came about. This tells us that Christianity in Africa wasn't just some offshoot. It had deep roots and a well-established intellectual tradition. And speaking of intellectual tradition, we can't forget the significant contributions of the African Church Fathers. Now, these were theologians and scholars who played a major role in shaping early Christian thought. And four of them emerged from North Africa in the 2nd century: Clement of Alexandria, Tudelian from Carthage, Origen also from Alexandria, and Cyprian from Carthage. Their writings and teachings had a huge impact influencing Christian doctrine far beyond the borders of Africa. I mean, these weren't just local figures. These were heavy hitters in the development of Christian thought as a whole. And to give you a concrete example of their influence, let's just look at Athanasius, a deacon from Alexandria. He was a key figure at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, which, as many of you know, was a pivotal moment in defining core Christian beliefs, particularly the doctrines of the Trinity. So the fact that someone from Africa such a crucial role at this council underscores just how integral African theologians were to the early church. Now, it wasn't all about intellectual debates and theological treatises. The early church in Africa was also a place of profound faith and, unfortunately, persecution. We see this in the accounts of the martyrs like Perpeta and Felicitas, whose stories of an unwavering faith in the face of Roman persecution continue to inspire Christians today. I mean, their courage and dedication really highlight how deeply Christianity had taken root in Africa. So when we piece all of this together, the historical evidence paints a very clear picture. Christianity was not something imposed on Africa from the outside, but rather it found fertile ground and flourished there centuries before European colonialism. And this is just a minor detail, folks. It completely reframes our understanding of how Christianity spread and developed globally. We see this, for example, in the Kingdom of Axum, which is modern-day Ethiopian Eritrea. Christianity became the state religion there in the 4th century and played a major role in shaping the kingdom's culture and political landscape that shows us that Christianity was making inroads into sub-Saharan Africa long before European colonialism. And even further east in Armenia, Christianity became the state religion in 301 AD, another example of how the faith was spreading organically independent of any European influence. These early Christian communities, whether in North Africa, Ethiopia, or Armenia, they all challenged this idea of Christianity as a purely European import. And it's not just about geography, it's about intellectual diversity. University. African theologians like those church fathers we talked about were engaging with Christian ideas in their own unique ways, drawing from their own cultural backgrounds and philosophical traditions. They weren't just copying what was coming out of Europe. They were adding their own voices to the conversation, shaping the evolution of Christian thought. And when we understand the true history of Christianity, history that is diverse and global from its very beginnings, it changes the way we view the faith itself. It breaks down the idea that Christianity is a Western import and reveals it as a universal faith that transcends cultures and continents. And that's incredibly powerful. It means that Christianity isn't bound to any one particular culture or ethnicity. It's for everyone. And that message is especially relevant in our increasingly interconnected world where we need to build bridges of understanding across cultures.